Hi students, welcome to Introduction to Policing. This is the video series on policing in America. I won't finish it in one video because I try to keep the videos around 10 minutes. So there should be several videos to get this finished. All right, let's get started. All right, the concept of police. And again, this goes along with your book, Introduction to Policing book. Okay. Police, the word actually is derived from the Greek word police. And it is basically means we're in a society. We need mediators, arbitrators to settle disputes. The history of policing goes way, way back. It goes back to the kins of policing where kind of families police themselves. What ended up happening was blood feuds went on for decades and decades and decades. And so something needed to be done to stop all the death, crazy enough. And so then you started having the government, your kings take it over, and it went and morphed and did a lot of different things into what it is today. Police officers frequently intervene into the daily affairs of citizens. In fact, many times, believe me, everybody loved the firefighters and hated the police. And it's because of this green thing I'm putting down here. Because we are going into the very private lives of people. A lot of people don't want other people to know what's going on. I mean, they put out, especially social media, we put out a certain amount of things. But a certain amount of things I'm sure you can think of that are private, that you don't want other people knowing about. And as it should be. But a lot of times you need the assistance of police because a law has been broken. And we're intervening because we're doing that. Our job as police is basically to arrive somewhere and determine what laws, what crime has been broken. That job is morphed, and so officers become psychologists, they become mentors, they become problem solvers. They do all different kinds of things, but really the main jobs and how the concept of police started was to find out what crime had been broken. All right. Societies expect police to do a variety of things. I've listed a few here. Obviously, reduce crime and disorder, reduce the fear of crime, solve neighborhood disputes, improve the quality of life, develop a greater community cohesion. Now, those, if you really think about what those means, that's kind of tough to expect one police officer or one police department to come in to a neighborhood, to come into a city or a county and do all of these things. That's a lot to do. And that's where the rub kind of takes place because there's different ways to do all of this depending who you are, where you are, your background, how you were raised, what your beliefs are, all that kind of thing. All right. Police training, and believe me, police go through a lot of training. You're going to hear me a lot of times say it takes 2 years to grow a baby cop, is what I call it. And that's from hiring them to going through the academy, to going through field training, which we're going to talk about all this later, and then be out on the road. But they're still a baby, and they don't know a lot because they haven't been through a lot. So police training doesn't provide answers for all the conflicts or everything out there. And so therefore, a lot of times, police officers have to use their own knowledge of what they've learned in their own life to solve things. And again, there's many different ways to solve things. And so that's why you're always going to have an unhappy customer sometimes, no matter what you do, because of this fact that police training doesn't provide. And there's also mistakes made. Believe me, I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. I didn't know a lot. I was young. I look at some of the calls I went to and I didn't make life or death decisions, but sometimes I would make a decision on what I told somebody or what I didn't. And whether it be a day or a month or a year or decades, I went, gosh, why didn't I do this or why didn't I do that? We're always learning and we do make mistakes. All right, almost all police practice some form of discretion. The word policing really means discretion because a lot of times you may pull somebody over and yeah, they may be breaking the speed limit. And yeah, you can give them a ticket if they're doing 1 mile over the speed limit. But there could be different reasons that cop may come in and say, okay, I just want to give this person a warning today. Or I don't want to arrest this person for larceny, for stealing soda pop because of this, this, and this. So police officers do have discretion. And unfortunately, because of that, It's not fair. You may have one police officer that gives a warning to one citizen for a certain thing, or another police officer doesn't. And believe me, I've been the victim of that myself, and it's not fair. But I've also seen a world where you don't give police officers discretion, and there needs to be discretion because there are reasons where citizens that do break the letter of the law, do need to be given a break, or there needs to have other things happen. So discretion is very important. All right, let's go to YouTube here. I have a little thing I want everybody to
Hello,
hear.
you've reached the police department's voicemail. Pay close attention as we update choices often as new and unusual circumstances arrive. Please select one of the following options. To whine about us not doing anything to solve a problem that you created, press 1. To inquire as to whether someone has to die before we'll do something about a problem, press 2. To report an officer for bad manners when in reality the officer is trying to keep your neighborhood safe, press 3. If you'd like us to raise your children, press 4. If you'd like us to take control of your life due to your chemical dependency, press 5. If you'd like us to instantly restore order to a situation that took years to deteriorate, press 6. To provide a list of officers you personally know so we will not take enforcement action against you, press 7. To sue us or tell us you pay our salary and you'll have our badge, or to proclaim our career is over, press 8. To whine about a ticket and or complain about the many other uses for police rather than keeping your dumb ass in line, press 9. Please note your call may be monitored to assure proper customer support, and remember, we're here to save your butts, not kiss them. Thanks for calling your local police department, and have a nice day.
All right, that's obviously an icebreaker, just something to kind of bring fun to it. But it really does. And I have to say, the reason I play that is I've heard all of those things. I've heard handfuls of times, could I say hundreds? Probably hundreds of times, that, that somebody pays my salary. And I've heard, why am I not out, enforcing crimes like drugs instead of giving people tickets for traffic? And there's always a reason. A lot of times when we're out doing traffic enforcement, it's because that area that we're at has had a number of deaths from people speeding or running a stop sign or running a stoplight. So a lot of times the citizens don't always understand, and I think it's our job as officers to communicate that. But of course, you're always going to have some officers that do that better than don't. So anyway, it's really difficult. I love this Rubik's Cube here, because if anybody's ever tried one, it's difficult to get from here to here. And a lot of times when cops go to calls, they want the police to solve them. They want them in a minute or in seconds to take a situation that looks like this and make it perfect like this. And unfortunately, when it's taken a neighborhood a long time to decay, or you have a child that has a lot of issues that needs a lot of long-term psychological care and support, you can't make it look like that. And then therefore it makes it look, the police officers look bad when it's really not. All right. The term law enforcement really does describe very little of what police officers actually do. I'm going to show you a list of, I tried to take some time to come up with a list of what police do, and you'll see it in a minute, and it's pretty crazy when you think about it. So you ready? So it started out as something small. It started out as, cops are law enforcers, drug counselors, investigators, psychologists, parents. They solve neighborhood problems, rule setters, disciplined person. You know how many times I've been told or asked to discipline a child? Instructor, community program coordinator, crime solver, hold citizens accountable for action, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, counselor, neighborhood cleaner. I started going on. Look at all these. And then I added some more down here, and then I just started adding them, and I just went, there's a lot of things when you think about it that law enforcement jobs are and what they do. Pretty amazing. All right, I'm going to stop this video. We're right about 10 minutes, and we're going to learn about the concept of 911. 911, call a cop, get a cop. Next video. See you then.